Hello everybody and welcome back to Odin's movie blog. I am the critic who is a cynic. Hope you're doing well, and today we've got a rumor that I really hope is true because I am a huge fan and was a huge fan, I guess past tense is the more accurate term, of the Marvel Netflix shows, even shows including Iron Fist. I thought Iron Fist was actually very entertaining for me. Again, is it the best show with the best acting? Not necessarily, but I think that it has enough going for it where I was, it kept my attention, it kept me entertained for the vast majority of it. But you also had a couple of really great shows on there too. Daredevil by far was the best show. I would say that season 1 of The Punisher was also fantastic. Season 2 fell a lot by the wayside, mostly because behind the scenes there was a lot of politicking going on, which obviously is always going to ruin a show. Jessica Jones season 1 was decent, but that's only because of the character of Kilgrave, and then when season 2 happened, it was such garbage that everything that came after that really just wasn't very good. And then Luke Cage to me was always just this in-between show where some episodes were really interesting and then other times I just was not very interested in the character. But by and large, I would say that they were very well done shows. And so when they finally, when Disney just finally decided to start doing and announced their Disney Plus streaming service, and it made very clear that it was going to be more kid-oriented content, more family-friendly content. The question was raised, okay, so where are the more mature films, or rather the more mature films and also TV shows, specifically the Marvel shows on Netflix, where are they going to end up going? Again, obviously, my heart was broken when I found out that Daredevil was canceled, that they were not going to make any future episodes on Netflix, and my hope was that, okay, it's going to be temporary because Disney is going to plan to remake it for either Hulu or possibly for some other aspect of Disney Plus. Maybe they could have it where it's a certain section where you have to confirm your birth date or something like that, where parents can have some control over it or something. I just want the series to be available in some form or fashion, and I would love for the series to continue because even though we got a few seasons of it, I think that there's still a lot more story to tell, and also I just love the actors, especially in the show Daredevil. And now there's a rumor going around, so this is going into rumor territory coming from John F. Trent of Bounding Into Comics, that Daredevil could potentially, with Charlie Cox, who played Daredevil in the show, could return on Hulu. Remember that Hulu is owned by a vast majority stake by Disney. And so therefore Disney has a lot of control over what content goes on there. Many of us assume that they were going to put some more mature films or mature series that they have control of, again, specifically the Netflix shows, and it looks like that could potentially be happening. If not, new episodes of the show, they're at the very least having the full access to the original show itself. But let's go ahead and dive into this rumor. So the new rumor, of course, details that a Daredevil series could return with Charlie Cox reprising his role as Matt Murdock on Hulu. The rumor from Mikey Sutton comes days after Cox indicated that he had not heard anything about reprising his role in regards to Spider-Man 3. That is, of course, the new edition of Spider-Man in the Spider-Man Homecoming universe, which, to be honest, if he were to show up in that film, that would be awesome because I think Charlie Cox is a very talented actor, and I would love to see his rendition of the character of Matt Murdock and Daredevil in the actual movie. Late in April, Cox addressed rumors regarding him reprising his role in the third Spider-Man film. He stated, "I hadn't heard those rumors, but it's certainly not with my Daredevil. I'm not involved with it. If it's true, it's not with me. It's with another actor." So either, of course, this is him trying to push people away from it because he is under an NDA, or it could potentially also be the truth, where they are not actually going in that direction, which would be very sad. However, he did indicate that he hopes to return to the role. "Look, I had a great time. I'm so grateful I got to play the character as long as I did. Of course, I'd love to keep going. I'd love to be involved with it." So it sounds to me that you have not just the lead, but I imagine the other supporting actors and actresses would also be down for coming back too, because many of them haven't really been seen outside of that show and really kind of made their name on that show. And so I imagine that they would either feel desire to go back to it because it's the biggest thing they got going right now, or it could potentially also be that they just feel so much love for the show and love for the characters, love for the products, that they could also come back too. And so it's great to hear this is going on, and I really hope that Disney gets its head out of its ass, especially with the fact that their credits being downgraded and the stocks are just plummeting because of all the nonsense that they've gotten there. Again, when you buy so much stuff that you don't even know what to do with it, and something like this happens with the virus and everything gets shut down, you're going to lose a crap ton of money. So what I'm hoping is that during this process, they realize, okay, we need to start making some money on this stuff that we've been buying. The best way to do that, and of course, people from, I think recent examples like Naughty Dog, for instance, Or, of course, even Disney Star Wars, they've shown that they don't really care what the audiences want. They think, oh, we don't care if we lose your business because you're an istophobe, etc. But maybe, just maybe, this will be enough, especially with the tremendous loss of money that they're dealing with, might be enough to bring them back to realize, oh no, we still need the hardcore fans. Let's maybe start giving them what they want. And it'd be great to have that happen, of course, with these television shows. So it says, as for the current rumor regarding Daredevil returning to TV, and more specifically Hulu, Sutton first explains by addressing rumors regarding Disney and Marvel reacquiring the rights to the Netflix shows early. I checked in with my sources last month to see if anything had changed with the rights, if the gossip of them being returned early were true. I was told they are not. I suspect that hasn't changed, so Netflix still has the rights and they will not be released earlier than they were originally said to be. He then details his source told him that after they do acquire the rights, they are looking at creating a series for Hulu. I was given an update, though, one that will excite fans who have been desiring closer connection with this and the theatrical MCU. It was revealed to me that although they legally can't work on the series at the moment, talks continue on what will be done. He continues, first of all, they're leaning on bringing the series to Hulu instead of FX. The budget will be higher, but not on the level of what they're doing for Disney+. He then goes on to detail that they're looking to include some cameos like Nick Fury. They also would like to have some of the rougher edge MCU characters to possibly guest on the show, like Nick Fury, for instance. Sutton then details that Marvel boss Kevin Feige doesn't plan on continuing Netflix's series, but there's another difference. While Kevin Feige liked the original series, he's not so keen on continuing what Netflix did, and instead incorporate his own vision. However, he does note that Feige wants Charlie Cox to reprise his role along with some of the other cast. However, his preference is to retain Charlie Cox and some of the other cast. No negotiations have begun yet, and they simply aren't allowed to. So basically, Netflix still owns the rights to the show. And that is the reason why we haven't heard any much more than that, because they really can't push anything forward until they get those rights back. What is upsetting, though, is hearing that Kevin Feige did not like the vision of Netflix on those shows. Now, I can understand not liking the vision for Jessica Jones because it sucked, or not liking the vision for Iron Fist because it had some rough edges, or even the same thing to be said for shows like Luke Cage, where I think that it had some good things going for it and some not so good things going for it. But to say that I think at all about Daredevil, and I think that that's kind of what's being insinuated there, I think is missing the mark completely, because I think fans want more shows like Daredevil, where it is more edgy, right? Where there is more violence, where it is more accurate to what the comics were actually like. And on top of that is just a damn good show with damn good acting to boot. So if you're talking about fixing the issues with crap shows like Jessica Jones, then yeah, please go right ahead and fix those issues. Please go right ahead and give us your vision on that show. If you're talking instead about the good shows that Netflix had, like the vision they had for Daredevil, and you say, oh, I want to fix that but with the same actors, I would say then just don't touch it. If you're not going to be consistent with the characters that were established by Netflix, at least for the show of Daredevil, I don't think changing it would be a good idea, because if you saw the ratings for this show, it was very high. It was very positively reviewed by many fans of the show. It obviously created new fans of the Daredevil character and just so many other characters that are introduced in that series. And I think it would be a huge mistake. Now, of course, Disney is prone to making giant mistakes, especially with very famous IPs, and especially spitting in the face of fans. And so I'm really hoping that once they get the rights back to this, that it does get a full release on either Hulu or FX, and that either way, it gets the true treatment it deserves by them respecting the characters, respecting the story that was originally established when it comes to Daredevil, and also continuing on stories like The Punisher, continuing on stories like Iron Fist, fixing any issues that they may have seen in the process, and even better than all of that, taking Jessica Jones and completely revamping it and pushing and just stripping away all of the crazy identity politics that was pushed into it, especially in that second season, with the total crap direction and total crap writing in the entire process. But what are your thoughts about this? Do you think that Daredevil will be returning to either Hulu or FX or any of these locations, or do you think that Disney will let the show die? That is also, I think, something that's very potentially likely to happen, where you have Disney getting the rights back and then saying, yeah, we're not going to show this at all. Maybe we'll release it on Blu-ray 4K and, charge people arm and a leg to actually own it, but we haven't decided yet. So I would say if you have a function like Play On right now, where you can actually do like DVR of your subscription service feeds, like I do, it's actually a really good program, really good deal. Has some issues, has some bugs here and there, especially with Netflix specifically. But hey, it's DVR, and as long as you have a Netflix subscription, guess what? You can get those episodes recorded, and then you own it. And then no matter what happens with Disney, they cannot touch it. So I think that I'm going to start to queue up all of the Netflix shows that I want. course, Jessica Jones will be left out completely because, dear Lord, that show sucks. But I will be, of course, trying to get everything else. But let me know your thoughts about this and everything we talked about in the comments section below. If you like this video, smash that like button, hit that subscribe. It helps out a lot. You're all amazing and beautiful people. Have a wonderful day. And before I go, I want to give a shout out to David Bobrizik. I have no idea if I'm pronouncing your last name correct. You did make a comment in your recent message to me that I always seem to mess it up and fumble over it. So please let me know the proper pronunciation. But David Bobrizik, you are a new member on Patreon. So thank you for your patronage. And if you want a shout out, please check out my Patreon or Subscribe Star to find out not only how to get a shout out at the end of every single video and live stream, but also the potential to have things like giveaways and be featured on the channel. Thank you guys so much for watching. Have a wonderful day, and as always, God bless. And now a huge shout out to my May Patreon and Subscribe Star members: Albertus Magnus, Animation Commentator Brian P, Dion, Divex, Enrique Evangelista, Father Christopher Miller, hail to you, Father, Frank the Tank and the Shawhan Weeder Dog Clan, Harold Francis, the Hunker Chunker Funker Monkey, Inflamed Wood, It's a Trap Productions, Jason Clark, Jeffrey Toon, Kenneth Camiel, Lady T, Laura Story, Mad Mitch Dunaway, Mike Jackson, Mr. Peabody and his evil twin with the beautiful hair, Orange Hat Reviews, Outpost Dyer, Out of Step with Reality, Riff Magos, Rosetta Allen, Steve Glasker, Teresa Martin, Theodore Bendon, Tina Bojan, The DJD Show, and Tina B. Thank you all for being my Patreon members, and a shout out to my Subscribe Star peeps: John B, Perpetual Punster, Robert Revo, Mr. Roy, Glinzer, G2 Cool 99, Darkstar 57, J. Alex McCarthy Jr., US 888209 Fast, Dean Heiss, Harold Francis, J. Rod the Beer Guru, Nevadon G. Adams, and ZK Man. I'm going to leave that pause there just in case anyone decides to join for the month of May, because you can indeed join on Patreon or Subscribe Star at any time this month to be eligible for any of the perks. They include access to an exclusive podcast that I do with John, the Flick Pick of John Flickinger's fame, so make sure you go ahead and check that out at the $10 and up level. Also, if you Subscribe Star or Patreon at $5 or up, you have access to exclusive giveaways of 4K movies, digital films, and a bunch of other stuff in between as well. And if anything, you could at least give just anything that you really want to help support the channel, and it would really help me out a lot. It keeps the lights on, makes me able to continue to do this kind of stuff. So anything you possibly give, check out some more information in the description of the Patreon, Subscribe Star, and of course YouTube membership links as well. You guys are all amazing and beautiful people. Have a wonderful day, and as always, God bless.